Fight for each other. 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 What are we? One team, one heartbeat. What are we gonna do? Will we lose? Will we? Let's break it down.
Boy, that's the fire and the passion you want from your quarterback. And these are the numbers you would expect from a national champion. A powerhouse on offense and defense, scoring in bunches and keeping the opposition out of the end zone, on the way to Florida State's first national title since 1999. Hi, everybody. I'm Ray Crawford. You know, at the start of last season, few expected the Seminoles to run the table, but when it was all said and done, they were the ones raising the crystal in Pasadena. But what are they doing this year to stay hungry into 2014? For the answer, let's head to Tallahassee and say hello to our Florida State insider, Brandon Mellor, who's been covering the Noles for a decade. And Brandon, we witnessed the dominance and the results that came with it, but the question is always, can they do it again? Repeat as champs. How is Jimbo Fisher keeping this team motivated to win back-to-back titles?
Well, you know, this team, really the mantra has stayed the same as it was all of last year, and they call it the crumb mentality. That crumb mentality for this team is being a team that's a detail-oriented, attention to the smallest of things, whether it's being in the meeting room at an exact specific time or eating dinner at an exact time before a Friday night before a game. Everything is organized and down to a T. And I think a lot of players maybe before the season started last year, maybe kind of in the early years of the Jimbo Fisher era, maybe thought it was a little overkill. Maybe thought it was too much, that so much was kind of placed upon these attention to detail things. Well, they saw last year that it worked, and the national championship ring that the Noles got this year, it says inscripted inside, it says find a crumb. And I think that the players returning from the roster from last year, they understand that to get to the top of the mountain, to stay at the top of the mountain, you have to be focused on every little thing. And I think that's the key moving forward for this team, is to remember that mantra, continue leaning on your guys in leadership roles, and not forget what got you to where you are right now.
Brandon, that ring is huge. It looks like a bracelet. That's pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Ultimately, it's Fisher's job to keep this team on the right track, but leadership inside the locker room, as you know, is crucial. So who besides Jameis Winston do you think will be relied upon to keep this team focused?
Well, FSU lost a lot of leaders on defense specifically. Telvin Smith, Marcus Joyner, Terrence Brooks, Christian Jones, Timmy Jernigan. And I looked at that side of the ball and a guy like Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey he was a freshman a season ago. He became the first rookie to start at cornerback since Deion Sanders. Ever heard of him? Went on to start all 14 games at corner and safety. And he's a guy that you really can kind of see that maturity level, continuing to rise. You watch him at spring practice. He's barking orders. He's telling guys to be here, be there. He's got an infectious smile, just like Jameis Winston on the opposite side of the ball. You see those kind of two guys kind of going back and forth with each other out on the practice field. So I think he's a guy that you see him take on an even bigger role this year. He's in LaMarcus Joyner's nickelback spot now with LaMarcus Joyner after the NFL. So I think he's going to make more plays, and he's also going to be a guy that this team will lean on for leadership aspect.
Well, we're going to find out pretty quickly how good this team is when they open against Oklahoma State August the 30th. Brandon, thanks for the insight.
Appreciate it.
The St. Louis Rams have a pair of picks in the first round. Could one of them be Kelvin Benjamin, the former Seminoles standout receiver? Check out our series CI on the Clock only on CampusInsiders.com.